Hey everybody, this is Vic Moss from the Drone Service Providers Alliance, DSPA, much easier to say. It's been a while since we put out a video, but I wanted to put this one out real quick. It's not going to be a long one, but I wanted to talk about Senate Bill 1249, called the Drone Integration and Zoning Act. It's just put out by Mike Lee. He's a Republican senator from Utah. This is, if you've seen one of my articles called Whack-A-Mole, this is the latest mole to go ahead and pop up for us to take our little mallet and whack it back down again. Obviously, for the last few years, we've had to fight all these silly anti-China drone bills. These for the overzealous legislators who have no idea what we do with our drones, no idea what our drones are even capable of. So we've had to do that. Then we had to start dealing with the issue of Customs and Border Patrol holding drones, holding DJI drones specifically, and other DJI equipment, not just drones. I read today somebody had a set of their propellers sent back. And that's all based on false accusations, supposedly by Elise Stefanik, about DJI using Uyghur labor in China, and they're using the Forced Uyghur Labor Act to hold those shipments up. DJI obviously has denied all of that and has provided all the paperwork. But in theory, from what I've heard from from a very good reputable source, that Elise Stefanik, Congresswoman from New York, is behind it. She has asked for some more people on the border, specifically to stop certain shipments, including DJI drones. And then now what we have to deal with is the tit-for-tat tariff situation we're dealing with between the United States government and the Chinese government. So this is not about that. This is not about any of that. This is about Senator Lee's latest attempt to basically steal our airspace for it. Let's put it in black and white terms. I'm not going to be diplomatic in this one. I'm not going to be mean, but I'm not going to be diplomatic. Senator Lee is trying to steal our airspace. It's that simple. It's plain and simple. Will he succeed? I doubt it. I really do. But it's good that we keep an eye on this. We need to keep an eye on this. The reasons why I think he will not succeed is, first of all, this is the fourth iteration, the fourth time he's tried to do this. He did it as seen here. This is the latest one. This is Senate Bill 1249, Drone Integration and Zoning Act. This is the 119th Congress, current Congress. 2025, 2026. Let's go up here. 905, Drone Integration and Zoning Act, the 118th Congress, 2023, 2024. Let's go here. Senate Bill 600, Drone Integration and Zoning Act, 117th Congress, 2021, 2022. Let's do one more, because you know what? There is one more. Senate Bill 2607, Drone Integration and Zoning Act of 2019, 116th Congress. Now, this is the fourth time he's done that. Every single time he's done that, he has not gotten any co-sponsors. It has not gone anywhere. And just like Senate Bill 1249, you see here, the actions have been, each time, read twice, refer to the Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation. Basically, that means all four times it's gone to committee and died. Why is he doing this? My best guess is, based on some information I know, is that the state of Utah has tried a couple of different times to try and pass aviation easement laws where AAM, drone delivery, whatever you want to call it, has asked for exclusivity in certain airspaces, which means we as drone pilots and recreational pilots, because this will affect both, are not allowed to use that airspace. And that is actually way. This comes back way back when. For those of us who've been in the industry a while might remember this. AirMap was really behind this. Speaking of bad companies at the time. Senator Dianne Feinstein, former senator, Democrat from California, put out what was called the title was the Drone Federalism Act of 2017. It went nowhere. Again, it had one action. Let's go up here, look at the action. It went to the Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation and died. But let's go back to co-sponsors here. This is where it gets interesting. Guess who one of his her co-sponsors were? Senator Mike Lee, Republic, Utah. So this is his attempt after, let's see, it's 2015. That's 2000. It's 2025. That was 2017. So 8 years now he's been trying to do this silliness. 8 years has gone nowhere. So he's basically wasting everybody's time and making us stress. We have enough stress in our industry right now. We don't need the likes of Senator Lee adding to it. So we're not going to dive really deep into it simply because it really doesn't need it. If you look at GovTrack, which, by the way, if you do any of this kind of silliness like me, if you become a policy wonk like I do, thank you, John McBride, for that title. You should sign up for govtrack.us. No matter the policy. If you really want to track stuff, this is a really good way to do it. They have you have to sign up for it, you have to have an account, blah, 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 blah. But it is a really good way to keep track of things in D.C. if you know what bill you're trying to keep track. Again, this was introduced on April 2nd of this year. Personally, I think he may have gotten a flat tire on his way to the Senate the day before, because this should have been introduced on April 1st, because this is one big joke. But they only do give it 1% chance of enactment. That is not uncommon for something that just sits in committee, but this is sat in committee 5 times if you include the 2017 Feinstein bill. So we're really not going to worry too much about it. But we should worry about it enough to understand what's in it. This basically is asking the FAA to redefine navigable airspace, or actually define navigable airspace. They really never have. It's been more like, hey, 500 feet and above, blah, blah, blah. But it hasn't really been actually defined as navigable airspace. What they want to do is define it as 200 feet and above. So that means they would then give state, local, and tribal authority to the 200 and below, which would then give property owners in Section 4A, it would give property owners the ability to have exclusivity of the first 200 feet of their property, of the airspace above their property. At the surface, not meaning at the surface of the ground, but on the surface of the bill, that's really not a bad idea. It looks good on paper. But what that would then do is it would require all of us as drone pilots and as recreational flyers to ask for permission to anytime you want to fly under 200 feet over private property. So let's say you're a realtor, or you're shoot for a realtor. If you're a realtor that have your 107, if you don't have your 107, we need to talk. Or if you shoot for a realtor, then you would have to go to every single house that you drive by and go to the door, knock on the door, hope they're home, pray that they're home, and get permission to fly before you fly over it. This is not an ask forgiveness. This is or beg forgiveness. This is an ask permission bill. So you need to make sure that you have everybody. Let's say you're going to fly over 100 houses. Hey, guess what? Well, probably not for a realty job, but I would for a developer. I fly over 100 houses plus every single time I'm out at a certain project. I would have to do that every single time. I would ask permission. If I don't get permission or nobody answers, hey, I can't shoot that day. So obviously, it's gonna absolutely devastate a pretty large segment of what we do as drone pilots. Senator Lee needs to be educated on how we use our drones and what we use them for. This is his 5th attempt at this. Let's use the word absurdity. There was another one floating around up here, and I thought, that's probably a bad idea. The absurdity that this particular bill has, and it doesn't do anything. It's just wasting everybody's time and causing indigestion to the drone community. So, Senator Lee, sorry, let's use titles here. Quit. You're causing us issues. But anyway, in addition to having that 200-foot buffer, you would also have, if it's a 300-foot building on your property, then you couldn't go 350 feet. Anything 50 feet above or 200 feet to the side. So if you build up to your easement on a property and your easement is 10 feet from property line, then you have 190 feet that you can't get close enough to. So you have a 200-foot vertical offset as well. So it's silly. It's unnecessary. It's aggravating. It's indigestion causing. And we need to stop. We need to ask Senator Lee to stop doing this. I know he will be at a conference in Utah next month. I'm hoping that people there have a chance to talk to him. But keep an eye on things. We're going to try and keep an eye on this at DSPA. I'm not too worried about it, so it's not going to be probably a front burner item, but it will be a back burner item. And speaking of back burner items, we also have an issue in Florida right now that was actually 5 or 6 different people sent to me this morning, that there is a state senator, which means it would be a Florida law, not a federal law, that gives people the right to remove unmanned aircraft above their homes if they're flying under 500 feet. I have no idea why he added 500 feet, but that's just stupid. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that as well. I would be absolutely floored if this goes anywhere. It has gone out of committee a couple different times, but there's some other language attached to it. So, people are voting for the decent language. It's also silly language. But this particular part, which is asinine language, is kind of just along for the ride. But we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. Stay tuned for that. But we're keeping an eye on it in my group, my drone pilot group, commercial drone pilot group on Facebook as well. So that's where we're at right now. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that Senate Bill 1249, while it's stupid and aggravating and asinine, and fill in the rest of your adjectives you'd like to use here, it's not something we need to stay up worrying about. Let's keep an eye on it. Let's not worry about going to the store and buying a big old bottle of Pepto-Bismol at this point, and we'll go from there. But anyway, something like this pops up in your area, whether it's a city, state, county, national. Shoot me an email. Email's below. Haya's got a good article about this too, so I'll go ahead and add a link to that down below. And obviously, I'll also do a link to DSPA, Pilot Institute, a few things like that, some of our sponsors, and my email address. So if something comes up that you think I can help with, shoot me a call. You think that something needs to be on the radar of people in your area, people nationally, people in your state, shoot me an email, and we'll see what I can do. So thanks again. Thanks for supporting DSPA. I will have a link below for that as well if you'd like to join us or donate or something like that. And I think that's it on this fine Monday morning here in Denver, Colorado. A little windy. I'm not flying today, but I will be flying next week. Thanks again. Have a great day. And as always, fly safe.